Alright, this is the 8th video in a series on this cabin. The playlist for all the other videos are in the description if you want to check them out. So I have to dig a trench all the way to the corner of the cabin. Let's get to it. Alright, we got to be at 36 to the top of the conduit, so we're not quite deep enough here yet. I'm going to pull this thumb off. It'll make digging a lot easier. Alright, we got everything ready to go here.
Well, we'll take you in that way. It's a little narrow down here. Is that you? That wasn't me.
It probably would have helped if the 36-inch trench wasn't 46 inches deep.
I'm gonna pull this back this way.
Max got himself down in the trench. And
My
what's
buddy
your
mine,
plan?
Wants to do
Jesus. Oh man, I bent my bumper. I gotta get out of here before the police show up.
nice, nice.
The cabin really kind of took off because people like to watch that kind of stuff.
Ready? Yep. Sure. It's also a hammer if you need it.
Okay.
Dude, that's a drill. Look at that. Like a glove. Hopefully it sunk up in there, did it? Why don't we get a wire through there?
Yeah. Alright, all the conduit is in the pipe in the trench. The wire's pulled. I threw the 1/2-inch conduit in the trench so I can run like internet. So this still has to get inspected, but I can backfill a whole bunch of this. I'll leave this end open so we can see, and then the end up by the cabin open. So most of this trench is backfilled. Once he has a chance to inspect everything, we'll backfill the rest. And there is the panel installed. So main, I'm not sure what this goes to. There's a few different breakers. And we got the outlet. So once we have power, gotta tighten up the bolt on this bumper. I accidentally crashed into my buddy's truck. That bolt was loose and it kind of bent the bumper a little bit.
I love it!
This fog light also stopped working. I got new ones to replace it with. You know, as much as I love Walmart, I gotta say, I'm kind of impressed that after like 2 years probably, they carry the exact same light, which is kind of nice. And it looks like they're gonna mount up pretty much exactly the same way. I just want to double check that this is gonna work, and it was actually the light that was bad. Does not work. This one works. This one does not. So we got a wiring problem somewhere. I think I found the problem. So this wire got pinched behind this bracket. I ran something over with this bumper, and that must have bent and pinched that. Geez, there's a cut there, and then this thing just got smashed flat. Hoping I can just replace that pigtail. I'll tell you, these truck repairs start as looking simple, and then they turn into an absolute zoo. There's some questionable wiring here, so let me try to fix this. I'm assuming this is where the problem is. I don't know, there was something clearly like messed up with that wiring. It's worked fine for like 2 years and seemingly stopped working because I crashed into something. So I used the new wiring harness that came with the new set of lights. I'm just gonna basically rewire it. And honestly, there's probably still nothing wrong with this light. Let's test this. Clearly working. See if this old light works. Doesn't. Oh, look at that. Sorta. There's a connection, weird connection. So I'm just gonna throw this one out. And about an hour later, a bunch of tools and lots of frustration, I have both lights working again. And the whole reason I came down here was to get a battery charger to go jump the bucket truck. The lights are left on for 10 minutes and the battery's dead. Can someone explain to me why they cannot make batteries that last longer than 6 months? And people think like electric cars are a good idea, and I'm all for, if you want to try the electric car thing, I think there's probably a place for it. But you need to come up with a battery that lasts longer than 6 months. It's charging. So annoying. Hey buddy, what are you doing? Maybe now we can go try to start the other battery. You have these stupid smart chargers, and this thing will not charge the battery because it does not sense voltage. When do you normally need a battery charger? When the batteries don't have any voltage. So you have to con this thing into thinking that there's battery voltage here by hooking up a jump pack that will not start the unit. Now that's to think about it. Still thinking, still thinking. Now we're charging, trying to recondition the battery. No, I don't want you to do that. Just want you to charge it. This thing is such a piece of junk. No, allegedly now it's charging it. You just have to trick it into thinking something else. I got an idea. Let's make these go away. All right. This bucket has like a foot of sawdust in it, and I want to clean that out. So you're actually standing on the bottom of this thing. All right, that's clean. Maybe I suggest a new procedure that you clean it out more often than every 500 years. Runs like it was new. As the arborist, which is a name that only people who cut trees call each other, how do you feel?
Right now would be a good time to give a shout out to your mom and
No? Nothing? That's so cool! Love it! Ember! Sorry! As it turns out, I never really did explain why I was cutting these trees down. So the location of the pole, these trees were in the way overhead, and the power company told me that they would come out and cut them down for a very, very pricey amount of money, or I could do it myself. And what I ended up doing is purchasing a bucket truck and doing it myself, which was slightly less of a cost than having the power company come out and do it. And I own a bucket truck, which has come in handy many, many times. So these limbs that are overhead needed to come down, and that's what we're kind of doing here. I don't think I can ever say anything bad about DeWalt again. There's a bunch of sawdust in my bucket again. Oh,
Like, it's not any more wobbly than ours.
That's the custom throttle.
Stay out of the rain, buddy. Yeah? Good boy. You're such a good dog. Keeping everything running, huh? Good job. Shake. Good boy. You belly rubs? You belly rubs? Oh, belly rubs.
Switch. It's on. The nice thing about having the leaves on the trees is that you can work kind of in the rain and get some shelter from it. It's good, not great. So this battery is constantly dead with no explanation. So I unplugged it last time so that I could hopefully come down and just start this thing. Clearly not holding my breath. Not even gonna try. I hope he's not like overly angry about me running over his truck. In my defense, he did park it right in the middle of everything. Get to do this all over again. My favorite thing is cords that get tangled up constantly. Somebody got kind of frisky with this thing and it disintegrated. So I've decided to put it back together the wrong way. All of the Harbor Freight electrical tape. This is really exciting though because they're both black now, and so you have to guess which one goes on the positive side. Why is the oil red? I like to guess which dipstick it's supposed to be. That's still right up to level, so now we just gotta wait for the drain plug to fall out. Either the batteries in this thing are junk or the alternator's bad. I like all the wire splices in here. It's confidence inspiring. That's a lot tighter now. You know, I have this battery. And this thing just said, now it says it's got 75% charge. I wonder if this battery is the one that actually has the draw. How exciting that would be. I mean, I'm sure both of them are junk. It's okay to cross-thread battery terminals, right? I have low hopes that this is going to work. Amazing! Don't pay any attention to that engine knock. That's totally normal. That's called a fuel knock. You just got to pick up, you know, the last 5 cylinders before it'll start running right. My trusty fuel gauge reveals that we are almost empty. watch it doesn't like hit anything. Try to be really careful of that. I'm gonna rebuild this whole roof. Get this end closed in nice. Try to be careful of those pegs. That's all off on this side, and the robin's nest is saved. This is our personnel carrier. This is how we get people in and out of the bucket.
Okay, stop, that hurts. That's a huge violation.
Getting ready to build the rafters for this so we can put the roof back on. roof box is all built. I got to do a little bit more framing here, and then I can set the tin. Keeping in mind, I am not a framer or a roofer or a carpenter, and if it's not obvious by now, I really don't know what I'm doing. For everybody that says I don't use any of the old lumber, this is old and this is old. I just used it to put frame strips down for the metal roof. That is a wrap minus drip edge and corner trim. I don't have either one of those, so I'm waiting. But for right now, my goal was to get this dried in so the rain wasn't coming down and like ruining everything. So that's, I'm happy with this. It looks pretty cool too. Where did you get plants?
This is the problem, please.
I know a lot of times people use like the wrap stuff, but this tape is so sticky and it just seems like you're using a better product. I know Concrete Kyle's gonna lose his mind, but I like this stuff a lot better. Look at that. That entire thing is sealed off from being affected by any moisture that could find its way in there.
Probably should have paid attention if it even comes out that far.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we should check that.
Right now.
Coming, buddy? Nice. Snoozing in the shade, aren't you? Good dog. Chop box for chopping. Oops. Huh?
Battery.
For what?
A blower.
I don't care about that right now.
What is what? The hell did you make me do it for? What?
Let's pull this window out and get the new ones installed. Come on in. You can come in, buddy. Come inside, Max. Go inside. Go to the other side. Go to the other side and you can come in and say hi. Alright, this is a 2x6 and I don't really like this because it would let water run down behind the siding and obviously that's not good. So I'm going to replace it with a 2x8. Now you see that hangs out over. Any water that comes out will hit this and run down.
That's crazy.
That needs another 2x4. You have to What the heck happened?
You cut it at 53 1/4.
Perfect. Another 2x6 wasted.
I suppose I better go get another 2x6.
You might as well get a bunch of them. Carpentry here. Nothing, really, nothing but the best.
Well, we are.
Why is it still short? Which is weird because I never, ever, ever claimed to be a carpenter. I don't even want to be. I'm using these little trim screws with like a small head on them. These things strip out instantly. These things are garbage, trash. Don't use these for anything. Outer stops are in all the way around. Let's put the window in.
That's that foam insulation on the back of
It's just another example of over-engineering. Look at this. Look at how nice that is.
That. I'm not done yet.
I'm trying to demonstrate how nice it is.
I don't care.
Those screens are a scam too.
Yeah, they are.
How nice that opens. Very nice. Okay, well.
Ow! Again! Ow!
I feel like I'm on borrowed time doing this with bare hands. I'll go throw this in the fire, turn it back into sand. We have 3 windows framed up in here. And he's cutting the PVC trim stops to set the replacement windows in. Now, I am using replacement windows here because I wanted to use a window that was off the shelf at Lowe's. They're a lot cheaper, and if anything ever happened to this, I know I could go back to Lowe's pretty much the same day and pick up a window. The only thing they had in a size that would work is replacement windows. And the replacement windows, you set the PVC trim here and set the window against it, whereas new construction, they have a nailing fin and you set them and nail them from the outside. I don't know if there's one better than the other. Look at that.
Any questions?
Yeah, first of all, how dare you? So then the window just sits right up against that. Everything's caulked. It'll get caulked from the outside when it's all done, so there's no way water can get in.
This is as big a scam as the shaker weights.
It's better to cut it 3 times and it still be too long than, you know, this is why I'm not doing the finesse carpentry. And there is the other 2 windows completely installed. There's a fair bit of stuff that needs to be sealed, like on the bottom of the sills, up at the top, and then obviously there's going to be trim board all the way around. Job for another day. that top piece you'll see when I'm done, but that's actually going to overhang the trim going up and down, which will look kind of cool. That looks super sharp. And that's all the PVC trim board, so that'll never rot. It'll be the last thing standing when this house finally falls down. No rain in the forecast today, but it's raining. It's definitely nice to know that the windows are new and the roof is on. There's no water getting inside. All right, so there are birds up in the nest here. I really don't want to mess with them. Well, I passed my electrical inspection for the service portion. So that covers the trench, the conduit in, the service up to the meter, and the service wire into the panel, and the panel, what's currently tied into the panel, which is just the one receptacle. So since that's done, I can backfill the remainder of this trench. Last thing I gotta do before I backfill is I pulled this 1/2 inch conduit through the trench so I can run internet at some point. So I need to get this the rest of the way up to the foundation.
It's roughly like
At some point, we'll run an LB right through the side of the house. Right now, to keep water and everything out of here, I'm gonna put that elbow back on here. And then, you know, we'll cut it off here so it won't matter. You don't want to leave your tools in the trench right before you bury it. Now, anytime you put in new utilities and you have a trench and you backfill, that trench is going to sink and settle. I'll keep addressing that as time goes on to try to prevent that divot from, you know, being super drastic. This might be a yard at some point, I don't really know, but I don't want a big divot anyway, just a place to collect water and all kinds of other problems. Well, that's going to about wrap this video up. We got a lot of work done. I know it's been a long time since I put out a video. I try to make these videos pretty complete. In this case, I wanted to make sure that, you know, we started the electric service and everything that kind of goes along with that, and we got the electric service completed. The only thing I'm still waiting on is the pole. I have about 80% of the electrical pulled inside the rough-in work. Probably in the next video I'll update on that. I also got the windows and doors in, which I was really excited about. I think they turned out awesome. It kind of gives this place a whole new look. I like the dark siding and the white trim. I think that's really nice looking. Windows in the side. The other side, we took a couple windows out because they're just not necessary. I am waiting on a couple kitchen windows. They have to be custom ordered. I'm also ordering a custom window for that guy up there. That's a super cool window seat that's not going away. That's always going to be there. I think it's very characteristic of this cabin, and I'm going to keep it. One of the things you guys saw me do earlier in the video is I was working on the soffit. That's going to be a project that gets taken care of as time goes on, when there's not a whole lot else going on, because it's outside. It's not, you know, it's not a big deal if it doesn't get done in one shot, and it's pretty boring to do and watch. So not going to film a ton of that, but I wanted to address it because it is part of the project. I did get that roof finished up, as you obviously saw. That's just keeping weather out. Again, more work on that to come, just time. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. If you want to pick up some merch, I have a website link to that in the description. I'll be adding new designs in the future. It just takes time. I spend a lot of time here. This isn't my full-time job, so I'm busier than a one-legged man in a butt kicking competition. As always, thanks everybody so much for watching.